All right, today we're doing something a bit different. We actually got our hands on a pitch for a brand new creator platform. And I thought, hey, let's break this thing down. We're going to see exactly how a new player plans to cut through all the noise in what is, let's be honest, a super crowded market. So let's get into it.
And here's how they kick things off. Just hi, with 3 waving hand emojis. I mean, right off the bat, you get the vibe, don't you? It's super informal, it's direct, and yeah, maybe a little bit cheeky. This really sets the tone for everything else they're about to say.
So the platform's name, Prawn Star Wannabe. And just to be clear, we're not here to review the app itself. What we're doing is unpacking their pitch, really digging into the strategy, and the promises they're making to get creators on board.
Okay, first things first. For any creator, there's always one big question, right? How do I get paid? The pitch doesn't mess around. It jumps straight into their monetization model. So let's break it down. So the core of their whole model boils down to this: a £1 per peak system. Yeah, for just a quid, a fan gets to unlock a creator's private photo album for a limited time. And the way they pitch it is pretty clever. They say it's not just about the money, it's a way to filter out time wasters, but it's also cheap enough that you'd expect a ton of these small transactions. And then we get to the magic number, the one every creator is looking for. The app is promising a 70-30 revenue split. That's 70% going straight into the creator's pocket. That's a pretty competitive rate, and you can tell it's a huge selling point because they put it right up front.
But here's the thing, it's not just a one-and-done payment. The whole model is built to be a cycle, to keep people coming back. So a fan pays, they get access, but then a timer runs out, and boom, the album is locked again. The whole idea is to create this little loop where fans are constantly nudged to pay again for new stuff, or maybe even use the gift feature to ask for something a bit more exclusive.
And of course, to round out the whole monetization package, they've got the tools you'd expect. Things like secure one-on-one audio and video calls, plus a gift box feature for direct cash gifts. It's basically them ticking the boxes for the standard features creators are looking for.
All right, so we've covered how creators make money. But what about the other side of the coin? How does the app actually keep fans engaged and spending? Well, the pitch has a one-word answer for that: gamification.
And this is where they really try to set themselves apart. Think about most apps. It's just passive, endless scrolling, right? Well, they're throwing that out and bringing in a Tinder-style swipe and match system. Suddenly, finding creators isn't passive anymore. It's an active game. It's a really interesting strategy to get people to stop just consuming and actually make each interaction feel more intentional.
And to really double down on that competitive, game-like feel, they're adding a 10-star rating system that's tied to a leaderboard. The whole pitch here is that the higher a creator climbs on that leaderboard, the more eyeballs they get. It's all about turning that in-app social status into actual real-world income.
Okay, so the next big pillar of their pitch is all about security. And this is a huge one. For creators, especially in this space, dealing with trolls and scammers is a massive headache. So it's good to see the platform tackling that head on.
Remember that phrase, filters out time wasters? We heard it when they were talking about the £1 fee. Well, I bring it up again and again. They're framing their paywalls as more than just a way to make money. They're selling it as a security feature. The idea is it creates a better, safer community by, weeding out people who aren't serious. And to try and build some credibility on this point, the pitch really leans into the founder's backstory. Apparently, he used to be a security guy for massive pop stars like Ed Sheeran and Harry Styles. The message they're sending is pretty clear. Hey, security isn't just some feature we tacked on, it's in our DNA.
So here's the key to their whole security plan, this small but, they argue, really significant barrier to entry. Every single user has to pay a 99p monthly membership fee. Why? Well, according to the pitch, this makes sure that everyone has their bank details on file. And their claim is that this makes it way, way easier to ban trolls and scammers for good.
Okay, so we've seen how creators can earn and how fans are meant to engage. But what about the app itself? What's the business angle for Prawn Star Wannabe? Let's take a look at how they plan to actually make money.
Well, the main way they make money is pretty straightforward. It's that 30% cut we talked about. For every pound a fan spends on the platform, whether it's a per peak, a gift, or a paid call, 30 pence goes straight to them. And they're not shy about how they frame that 30% cut. They use this line, "No greedy app devs taking advantage." By calling out the competition like that, they're trying to position their 70-30 split as the fair, creator-first option, setting themselves up as the good guys compared to other platforms that might take a bigger slice of the pie.
But this is where their business model gets kind of weird and really unique. Instead of just plastering the app with ads from other companies, they have this thing they call the super secret fun page. From what I can tell, it's a totally ad-free zone where the company sells its own merch directly to its own users. And the stuff they're planning to sell on this page is, well, it's an eclectic mix, to say the least. The pitch lists everything from designer clothing ranges and their own makeup line to coffee shop merch and, yep, you heard that right, XXX sex dungeon comedy vids from the head doorman's point of view. I mean, you can't say they don't have a very distinct brand identity.
And one last thing, the pitch actually gives creators a piece of strategic advice. It tells them, hey, get your fans to download the app directly from our website. And why would they do that? Simple. If someone downloads it from the Google Play Store, Google takes its cut first, which means less money for the creator. It's a pretty transparent way of saying, we want you to make as much money as possible.
So, there you have it. That's the pitch for PrawnStar Wannabe in a nutshell. It's a really fascinating mix of ideas, isn't it? It's like they've pulled from all these different corners of the internet. And it really leaves you with a big question. Is blending these dating app mechanics with direct content sales, is that the next big thing for the creator economy? Or is it just another bold, maybe even wild experiment in a landscape that's changing every single day?